Welcome back to English 4.0, the radio show. Let's go! Advanced.
All right, hello and welcome back to the program. Here we are in the advanced portion of class number 176. So officially 20 more classes to go, including this one. And we'll get started with a little review of yesterday's content. Yesterday we talked about questions, very important to be able to form questions. And we were using the drill, the exercise, where we practice, where I give you the answer to a question and you ask me the question that I've already answered. So we were practicing with the question word why, por qué. So what we'll do here is I'll give you the answer and you can ask me the question. Let's practice a little more. It's expensive because there's a lot of gold in it. And you can say, why is it expensive? Why is it expensive? Oh, because there's a lot of gold in it. I went to New York because I had a wedding. It's true, I did. Why did you go to New York? Yes. She complained because the service was bad. The question, why did she complain? Now, what do you want to know? If you ask that question, why did she complain? Now, what do you want to know? You want to know, Kyle, I want to know why she complained. Yes, because the service was bad. Yes. He was angry because nobody told him the news. The question, of course, why was he angry? I come here because I like the food. Because I like the food. Why do you come here? Why do you come here? Kyle, I want to know why you come here. So in the direct question, why do, with the auxiliary verb, why do you come here? Now remember, in the indirect question, we don't need the auxiliary verb. There's no do. We just say, I want to know why you come here. Well, I come here because I like the food. Yes. I keep it because I find it helpful. Why do you keep it? Why do you keep it? I caught a taxi because there weren't any buses. I caught a taxi because there weren't any buses. Why did you catch a taxi? Why did you catch a taxi? Oh, because there weren't any buses. I ordered a pizza because I didn't have any food in the fridge. Why did you order a pizza? Now we have fridge or refrigerator. In the refrigerator, the fridge. So fridge is an abbreviated version of the refrigerator. I asked for help because it was confusing. Now the question, of course, why did you ask for help? Why? Because it was confusing. They built the tower. I told you about this yesterday. They built the tower because the old one wasn't high enough. Why did they build the tower, would be the question. Why? Why? Okay. I teach English because I like the job. Kyle, why do you teach English? Now, I want to know why you teach English. So the direct question, Kyle, why do you teach English? Okay, so it's very important to develop an agility with this, with forms of direct questions and indirect questions as well. Let's move on now to practice the conditional. Now, here we are looking at the second conditional with our logical conclusion routine. We saw this yesterday, and I'd like to take the time that we have here to go into a little bit more explanation about how this works. Now, the good news about conditionals, well, there's good news and bad news. The bad news is, well, it's not really bad news, but some people find the third conditional a little bit tricky, a little bit difficult. We'll look at that in a few minutes. But first, well, in a few classes, I should say, not in a few minutes. We'll look at it another day. But the good news is, out of all the occasions that you use the conditional, probably 80% of them are the second conditional. So yes, we use the second conditional very often, and this is good news because it's not very hard. So, for example, with the logical conclusion, I teach because I need money. You can say, if you didn't need money, you wouldn't teach. Of course, that's not true. I teach because I enjoy it as well. I teach because I enjoy it. If you didn't enjoy it, you wouldn't teach. So we're taking the condition, and we take that condition with the word if, and that goes back one step in tense. Okay, in this case, back to the simple past, in the case of the second conditional. If you didn't enjoy it, you wouldn't teach. So we have the would. You wouldn't teach. Now be careful with the pronunciation of would, because I hear a lot of my students say good or similar, but would. Now with this word, it's important to think of the Spanish word for egg. How do you say egg in Spanish? That's right, huevo. So we have huevo, Take that sound, would. You add the ud of good, and you have would. And in the negative, wouldn't, which is a contraction of would not. If I didn't enjoy teaching, I would not teach. But we always use the contraction. If I didn't enjoy teaching, I wouldn't teach. I wouldn't do it, right? Okay, so let's try a few more. I'm here because I'm your teacher. So here the logical conclusion, you could say, Kyle, if you weren't my teacher, you wouldn't be here. True. If I weren't your teacher, I wouldn't be here. I'm not rich because I don't have $1 million. If you had $1 million, you would be rich. Yes. I'm not famous because I can't fly like Peter Pan. If you could fly like Peter Pan, you would be rich. Okay. I'm not a politician because I don't like politics. I'm not a politician because I don't like politics. If you liked politics, you would be a politician. The earth is round because it's not flat. The earth is round because it's not flat. Now you could say, if it were flat, it wouldn't be round. If the earth were flat, it wouldn't be round, clearly. Of course, yes. Okay, you're listening because you want to learn English. If you didn't want to learn English, you wouldn't be listening. Okay. I don't play basketball because I'm not tall enough. If I were tall enough, I would play basketball. So also remember, we can always change the order of the condition and the conditional. I could say, if I were taller, I would play basketball. I could say, I would play basketball if I were taller. I would study more if I were you. Yes, I would practice if I had more time. Okay? So one more. Let's try this. You're listening to me because I'm your teacher. Now you can say, Kyle, if you weren't my teacher, I wouldn't be listening to you. So it's important for these to come natural. It's important for you to practice and repeat out loud. And you want these structures to come naturally to you. You want them to roll off your tongue with ease. And the only way to reach that level of comfort is by practicing over and over and over. Okay? I told you earlier that if I could fly like Peter Pan, I would be rich. That's true. Also, if I could turn invisible, I would be famous. If I could fly like Peter Pan, I'd be famous. Also, if I could turn invisible, I would be famous as well. Of course, I'd be very famous. All right, let's move on now and take a look at our expression of the day.
Expression of the day.
All right, it is time for the expression of the day. And our expression today is no spring chicken. This means that someone is not young. He's no spring chicken. He's not as young as you think. He is no spring chicken. Spring chicken. So a spring chicken, we assume, is someone that is young. But we never say he's a spring chicken. We always use it in the negative, but we say he is no. We don't say he is not a spring chicken. We say he's no spring chicken. Now, this use of no, we often use it, for example, we use it when we're making comparatives, like if I can't run fast, I could say, I'm no Carl Lewis. I can't run there in 10 seconds. I'm no Carl Lewis. Grammatically speaking, we should say, I am not Carl Lewis, but I am no Carl Lewis. I can't play guitar like that. I'm no Jimi Hendrix. Come on. You could say, oh, he's not a bad guitarist, but he's no Jimi Hendrix. That's for sure. Now here, he's no spring chicken. He's no spring chicken means he's not young. He's old. He's older than you think. He's no spring chicken. He can't go on forever. He's no spring chicken, you know. He's getting old. He's aging. He's no spring primavera, the season, spring. He's no spring chicken. Pollo de primavera. Spring chicken. He's no spring chicken, you know. All right, now the next thing we can look at here we are in class number 176, and we see the phrasal verb. Some phrasal verbs related to speed and vehicles. We have to speed up, which is acelerar, and also to slow down, right? Aflojar el paso, to reducir la velocidad, to slow down. So in your car, when you press the accelerator, you speed up. The car speeds up. It goes faster. When you press the brakes, or when you release the accelerator, the car will eventually slow down. Now we can also, other than cars and vehicles, we can also say speed up, as in to do something faster. To speak faster. I can speed up. I can speed up now, and I'm speeding up. I'm speaking very fast. Or I can slow down. Do you think I should slow down? I try to slow down when I'm hosting the beginner program. I slow down. But I speed up a little bit. For the advanced classes, I speed up because I know that you can understand things better than the beginner students. So I speed up a little bit. Should I slow down? Should I slow down for you, for the listeners? Should I slow down? I do speak a bit slower than I do when I'm talking to my brother or my mother or my friends in Canada or other English teachers. Then I speed up. When I see them, I speed up. I start speaking a bit faster. Do you slow down when you see a police car on the highway? Do you slow down? You should. It's good to slow down so you don't get a speeding ticket. Do you speed up when you're in a rush? Cuando tienes prisa, to be in a rush. Do you speed up when you're in a rush? Do you? I think so. Most people do. They speed up when they're in a rush. Sure. All right, let's move on now and take a look at our vocabulary of the day.
Vocabulary of the day.
All right, it's time for the vocabulary of the day. That's right, our 5 words of vocabulary. Our first word is peatón. Peatón, which is a pedestrian. Pedestrian. Peatón. Yeah, pedestrian, like pedestrian crossing. There's someone crossing the road here. Pesimista. Pessimistic, we say. If you're pessimistic, you see the glass as half empty. If you're optimistic, you see the glass as half full. Venenoso. Venenoso. We say poisonous. Poisonous. Now, for a poisonous snake, we can also say venomous. The snake bite is poisonous because the snake has venom if it is a venomous snake. But we use the word poisonous. Poison. We can say, for example, the food was poisoned, or I got food poisoning. I got sick from the food. I had food poisoning. Retrato. Retrato is a portrait. A portrait. So imagine a painting of a person, a portrait. Proximidad. Proximidad, we say proximity. Proximity. All right, I'm going to speed up a little bit here as we move on in class 176, looking at possessive pronouns here. So some possessive pronouns, and it's good to practice with these. We can try a little bit of translation. Quiero que me des el tuyo, porque ella me dio el suyo y está roto. How would you say that in English? Quiero que me des el tuyo, porque ella me dio el suyo y está roto. This is the example we have here in our student guide. I want you to give me yours because she gave me hers and it's broken. I want you to give me yours because she gave me hers and it's broken. Okay? Le di el de ella, porque el suyo estaba con el de ellos en el cajón. Woof! What a sentence. Le di el de ella, porque el suyo estaba con el de ellos en el cajón. Wow. I gave him hers. Le di el de ella, porque el suyo estaba con el de ellos en el cajón. I gave him hers because his was with theirs in the drawer. What a sentence. Wonderful sentence. Let's try another one, another tricky one. Do we have time for one more? We have time for one more. Ella me pidió que le diera el nuestro porque el de ellas lo tenían ellos. Woof. Wow. Okay, ella me pidió que le diera el nuestro porque el de ellas lo tenían ellos. Ella me pidió. Okay, so she asked me que le diera el nuestro. So she asked me to, right? To infinitive. She asked me to give her ours because they had theirs. Wow. Okay. El de ella y el de ellos son diferentes a los nuestros. Hers and theirs are different from ours. All right, friends, we're totally out of time. I want to thank you so much for joining me today on the program. We're completely out of time. We'll review this possessive pronouns and so much more in the next class. Thanks for listening. We'll be back tomorrow at the same time, same place. We'll see you then. Bye-bye.